this system is completely customizable. We didn't invent this gross national happiness index. It was something that was got a lot of attention in Bhutan. On a much smaller level, this country still relies on agriculture, and not everyone has running water. But we believe that this whole program, the index, can be put into the European context because it really looks at individual happiness. And all of these different variables, depending on whether we're looking at it from a European point of view or right down to the households, is completely unique in each situation. Next up, we've got a quick
Many
video.
people regard you as a personification of Ubuntu. What do you understand Ubuntu?
Ubuntu does not mean that people should not enrich themselves. The question, therefore, is, are you going to do so in order to enable the community around you to be able to improve?
Speaking of a similar concept, really thinking about the people.
So, analyzing that complex map, we decided we should try to find leverage points in which you could try to make change in order to improve the whole system. And our interventions are based in 3 steps, 3 stages that actually are made. Our interventions are made in the first stage, and the second and the third one are actually the results we expect from our interventions. And going to the first stage, there is the political stability that is absolutely important in order to attract investments and get out of the crisis. And what would lead to political instability in at-risk countries would be political and economic reforms, but it would only happen with the country's willingness to change. And also, they could get help from EU experts in order to implement these reforms. They also need to be very consistent with their reforms. They cannot change their mind every 6 months or whatever it is. And it will lead to a good image in the media. So it's not really actually marketing the media. It's just that it's important that the politicians are all aligned and they have these common goals, and so the media will report it. This would attract investors and decrease the risk in the country. And there is also something interesting about attractiveness, is that right now in the at-risk countries, the labor cost is really low, and the investments costs too. And there is a high interest rate of return, so all of these attract investors, but they are actually not investing because they are afraid. They have fear. So the political stability would create these opportunities to attract investments. And also, something that is important is the unification of the EU as a whole, because if the countries are not looking for the same goal, if the countries are judging each other, if they are just fighting, and it goes to the media, it creates instability. And so it's important that, for example, Germany or other countries show to the media and to the world that they are actually taking care of the union, and they are not going to leave Greece, get out of the Eurozone. They are going to take care of it. They are a union, right? They have this power.
Amen.
A growth strategy is also important. We didn't really get into much detail here because you can also read the McKinsey report. They have lots of sources for growth. But it's important that every country finds the specific needs and the resources they have in order to improve. Our main point here and our main intervention would be the incentive for SMEs, small and medium enterprises. Because first of all, they are very important for economic growth at the local level, not only in big companies, for example. It would create jobs, it would empower people, because, well, in Europe, education is really good, and they all already are skilled. They already have a lot of skills, but they don't have the opportunities. So this would be a good way to offer them these opportunities. And it would also increase the opportunities for innovation, which creates real value and would make the community or the country unique. These local investments would lead to a local development and also improvement in infrastructure and the economy, which would affect the GNH. That is one of the parameters that would measure happiness and sustainable growth itself. Next. So can you go back just 1 second? These dotted lines, they are actually delays in between stages. And you can go to the next one. And the multinational companies would also play a big role in the economic recovery, and it would be attracted by all of the other factors, political stability and union. It would increase productivity. That's actually the most important factor for competitiveness. It's not really about competition in the EU, but it's about competitiveness on the global level. This would increase and create the opportunity for innovation and uniqueness. Uniqueness of people, uniqueness of communities, uniqueness of countries, of the European Union as a whole. This would attract foreign investors because once there is multinational companies in a country, they bring diversity to this country, and the community has to expand its markets and adapt to this kind of changes. So with that, they will learn more skills through research and development, and they might be encouraged to start new enterprises, startups. And these startups, they start already from the investment part. They already are good ideas, and it would be very important for the recovery as well. All of this would lead to growth. Growth of the communities, of the countries, of the union. And this is our more overview analysis of our second stage. This would lead to a less stereotyping between countries, because with more diversity, they become more flexible and resilient, cultural resilient. The community would expand their markets, it would increase productivity, it would have innovation, empowered people, they would be unique. Once the people are unique, once they have unique skills, they will get higher wages. So their standard of living, their access, and their ability to plan will increase.
So, in conclusion, we have done a lot of research. We have tried to look at the system at a different angle. We recognize some patterns, and we propose some interventions, some structural, some moral, etc. So, in conclusion, what we are aiming for is less division in the European Union, less brain drain, because we need more uniqueness for every country. We will get less invisibility. Every country will have its uniqueness and its empowerment, and in the end, they will become more visible and they will become more attractive for the others. And we will actually overcome fragility, because we are trying to create anti-fragility for this whole system so that it can learn from its mistakes and be prepared for the next shock. And we will also have sustainable growth, which is the most important thing for us. The growth doesn't mean anything by itself. It has to be sustainable. We would create more equality. This way, we would have more competitiveness between the countries of the European Union. And the people is the most important thing. More than 500 million lives are affected by that system. They are the essence of that system, actually. The quality of life will increase. That's what we are aiming for, mainly. And the Eurozone, it will become a center where other European Union member states are trying to get into. by increasing their competitiveness, by increasing their empowerment, by increasing their uniqueness. And together, they will become stronger. Together, they will achieve more GDPs and more GNH, more quality of life for everyone. And you all know that your success depends on the success of your neighbor. So, with this new vision, all together, all these member states will prosper, and more than 500 million lives who are living on this map will prosper all together as well. Because we all know that really good. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Thank you.